Today we're going to look at a possible reason why your hand hurts so much when you're playing a guitar, and also why your fingers become so sore so quickly. When you start playing a guitar and you're learning your chords, you can tend to clamp down really hard, and your hand is sort of tensing up. So it's not just the fact that you're pushing really hard, you're tensing your hand, you're tensing your arm. This muscle here starts to hurt, and the tips of your fingers can become very sore very quickly. And if they become too sore, you're going to have to leave it for a few days before you can continue to practice, because they can become that sore. I still get it now with my fingertips. If I've been playing for a very long time, they can just become so tender I have to stop playing. Whichever chord you've been practicing, or which chord you've started practicing, started to learn, hold that chord down and then try and relax your hand, and just keep relaxing your hand as much as you can. And again, arpeggiate the chord, so you're playing each note individually, and relax until the chord stops playing, and then start just putting slight pressure on. And once you get the one finger playing but the other one's not playing, stop putting pressure with that finger and try putting a bit more, tilt your hand so they're putting a bit more pressure on the other finger. Now this should be quite a difference between the where you were at the beginning and all tensed up to where you actually need to be holding that chord, and relax your hand. Another way of looking at how hard you have to press down on the string is if you place your finger on the string and just slowly increase the pressure on that string, and see how hard you actually need to be pressing on that string before it will play. And you'll be surprised how hard you actually have to press, unless you've got these strings are about this far away from the neck, and then you're going to have major problems anyway. But as long as your intonation and your guitar setup's fairly decent, and the strings are quite close to the neck, because obviously if the intonation's out completely and the neck's really, the strings are really high away from the neck, that's a completely another issue, and you will have major problems playing the chords anyway and keeping the guitar in tune. I am going to do a video on intonation and how to set up an intonation on the guitar properly. But there you go. So try doing that, and with different chord shapes you've started to learn, with each one try and relax your hand and your arm as much as you can before the chord starts to disappear, and you start to not, and then slowly put the pressure back on. Because if you're pressing really hard, you will hurt the tips of your fingers more, and it will cramp up your hand, and you will hurt this muscle even more because you're putting a lot more pressure on it than you have to. And it is difficult when you're first starting, and even now when I'm playing, when I'm learning something new, I can get lost in what I'm doing, and I can get quite tense in my hand, and I have to think myself, just relax it, because it will start to hurt really quickly. And that's a good way of trying to cut down the pain in your fingers and the pain in your hand.